Then, ladies and gentlemen, Beyond the Rift will begin right now. Episode number 10 with your host, the ever lovable I'm a Cutie Pie. And joining me today, Jimmy, the one and only. Jimmy, who are you?
Who calls me Jimmy?
I call you
I'm
Jimmy.
Scarra, the ever lovable, the professor, the big brain. What's up, guys?
The brains and the bronze, dude. That's what we should change this show to. That'd be a sick ass name. Dude, how you been, Scarlett? Before we get underway, dude, let me know how you've been. How's life been treating you? We
Dude,
don't
life's
we
been
don't
treating
ever
me good.
get we don't ever talk about like how life's been. So how's it been?
Dude, it's because our lives are so boring. All we do is we stream. We just play video games all day.
Yeah, but anything interesting? You hit the club recently, Scar? I know how you
Oh,
get
yeah.
down.
Oh yeah, dude. I hit the club just last night, and then I woke up and I was like, wait a sec, I gotta stream today.
That's pretty
I,
lit, dude.
dude, I know.
Yeah, I just say people want to know about us a little more, but whatever. I guess, dude, fuck your loser life. Let's just get it underway then. Let's start off with topic number one. But before we do that, I want to invite anyone to join our Discord channel, live on air Q&A that goes on every time we do Beyond the Rift. All you guys got to do is head on over to that link located in the info section down below, and you can join us on a live Q&A session at the end of this. If you guys got any great questions, which I know a lot of you do, a lot of you guys are some really just top-notch thinkers, and you guys come up with some really good questions. I want to see them. Not just me. Scarra wants to see them too. And so does everyone else. And thank you. Also, shout out to Bloody for providing us with not providing us with the ability to do this, but providing us with this sick-ass gear. This headset. Everything I got, dude. Fucking Bloody. Thank you very much. But all right, let's get it underway for real. Topic number one, Scar. The Decay System has been out for a short time, and the cutoff for Challenger is now below 400 points. Was this expected? Dude, I want to start off with this. That was when I saw the cutoff was at like 350. I was like, Jesus, our region is fucking doomed for eternity.
I think I don't know how it is in other regions, but I feel like
Dude,
there
someone
are.
sent me a screenshot. Like I, to be fair, they sent me screenshots of like fucking LAN and like Oceanic and like the Japanese whatever, and it was if you get to Masters, you get to Challenger basically. But
Jeez, I heard no. Even in Europe, the overall thing is down as well. I think that it's fine. It just looks bad temporarily. It definitely the new reward system rewards people who play a lot, like a lot. And so a lot of people who are in Master Challenger who only played a little bit. I think it's to be expected that the ranking goes down or like the rating goes
you
down.
think it
But
was like actual players that it demoted and not just Smurfs though? Because I know a lot of like a lot of people were just like, "Fucking man, I'm not gonna bother maintaining
yeah,
accounts."
almost all the Smurfs decayed, but that's better for everyone else because then you can actually see different people on the ladder rather than I'm a Cutie Pie Smurf number one, I'm a
Oh, I
Cutie Pie
still
Smurf
got I
number
still got
two.
all four of them in there. Don't you worry about
All
that,
right,
buddy.
all right. But aside from people like you crowding out the spots, a lot of the other people can't upkeep their accounts. So I think it's okay. It just looks drastically very bad right now. But I don't think the level. I think our skill level on new players aren't even that bad. Like every season, it gets a little bit better.
Is a
To where
little
like
bit
each person.
better really good enough though? I-
I mean, if you tell me no, but I with the level of our population, it feels like it's
So
about
how
normal.
bad is the North American population compared to like I always hear this, but like
Oh,
how bad is
okay.
it?
When I looked at stats, it's below Korea, and it's like below Europe West and a little bit above Europe East. So each of the major regions, it's below. And
Is
China, I don't
Do you
even
know
want
if
to
it's
talk
below
about.
significantly or just
Um, I think it's by at least 20% for both EU West and
What
Korea.
the really?
It's like quite yeah, it's like quite a lot. And China, it's not even close. China has like 30 bajillion servers. US player base probably accounts for 5% of the global player base, and China is like 60, 70, 80%. Like they are just monsters actually.
But do you think the meme about NA talent's true? How we're just gonna have to the ending is gonna happen where we have to import all of our players, and North America is just
No,
gonna turn into Europe, Korea.
I think that there's a decent amount of good players in North America, but a lot of them need coaching direction. And so as more money comes into the scene, people get bought up by NBA teams, by baseball teams, stuff like that. We'll have like the infrastructure to be able to like make players better, a lot more players better. I think that would just naturally trickle down into the overall player base. At the moment, though, we're still entering into that phase. It's still a little bit off, and so I would say there's maybe like 5 players per position vying for an LCS spot, 5 to 8 players per position. Whereas like I would like a lot more competition.
So you think there's a lot of diamonds in the rough in North America, just waiting to be
Yeah,
discovered?
I definitely think that there's a lot of people with potential out there, and I would like to
See,
see
I
what
don't
how
know
some
if you're
people do
playing
with
the same
coaching.
solo queue as me, man. Jesus, you're very optimistic.
uh, Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm relatively optimistic. I think right now at least the mid lane position has like 4 people who I consider to be pretty good, and at least in their respective roles, and or respective role,
The
and then
thing is,
even
though,
in
is
other
that if
positions.
it feels like, I mean, there are players where I'm like, wow, this guy's all right, dude. But is he better than if a team just wanted to import? Probably
Uh,
not. So
Probably not, but remember we both talked about how importing has that kind of problem area where the communication isn't there and the team synergy is harder to build up because they speak different languages.
yeah,
So
but I
yeah,
feel
of
like
course.
teams have like smartened up and are trying to get like translators and or trying to get imports that speak English at least.
Yeah, but then when you think about it, 3/5 of your team has to be native. So when you think
Yeah,
about it like that, like there's always going to be room for North American talent.
that sounds
But
so bad.
yeah, it does. I would have definitely preferred a system where we were only allowed like one importer team, so to maybe try to foster a better regional talent. But alas, that's not to be. So I think that right now it's okay. There's a lot of talent out there, and I hope that the stuff like the scouting ground and hopefully like better infrastructure for teams
Oh yeah,
will
when's that
make it
stuff
happen.
happen? Do you know when the combine?
Oh, I heard it was after Worlds, so you have some time.
Oh really? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just to end this topic, I think that it dropping that low is pretty pathetic. But I mean, if you're saying that all the other regions have kind of tanked that low too, then I guess it's not that bad. But seeing like 300 points gets you into Challenger, that's unacceptable, dude. Step it up, North America. Come on. All right, let me go on to the next topic, though. All right, topic number 2, Scarra.
What
What
up?
is the single biggest laning mistake you see when you watch people play your role? Jesus, dude, I just played a game versus fucking Jared Antibot playing Vayne bottom versus me. Oh my god, dude, where do I begin? There's just too many. No map awareness, no mechanics, no game sense, no like anything, dude. Just oh man, there's just too you give them the fine detail because I could go on for hours about the problems that people have.
Uh, I think a lot of it is. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the really micro-oriented stuff like the spacing, the trading. That stuff is really hard to understand. But I guess the biggest thing and the thing that I still don't understand why people don't understand is like when you should harass the other player. And what the easiest time to harass another player is when they go in for CS. So I see this any role I play when they don't harass when I go in for CS. Like I feel like I'm just giving them a free lane because they don't know what they're doing. So if I'm going in for CS, that you should know where I'm gonna stand to throw my auto attack. You should have a skill shot lined up for me there, or you should pressure me. Like the only times I respect other players are when they put in a lot of pressure on me at those level of times, and that's like a really really generic thing. It's something that I expect everyone at my LP range to understand, but it's for some reason still not done. I especially see it bot lane where it's like every
I
cannon
mean, in
minion
bot
bot
lane,
lane.
I feel like it's a little harder than mid lane because when I play mid lane, okay, I don't know if you know, but I'm on the Xerath hype right now, and like I have like an 80% win rate on him over like 30 games right now. People think I'm like scripting or some shit, but the only it's so easy to land skill shots because when a creep is low, they're gonna auto attack it. It's like, I wonder what's gonna happen. Oh, let me just shoot a skill shot while this creep's low because he has to auto attack it. It's so damn easy to. I know what you're talking about with that.
No, I think that's by far the biggest laning mistake I've seen anyone, because it's just like generic. How do you harass? How do you hit your skill shot? It's right here, dude. What are you gonna do in their position? I'm gonna stand here and hit the yes. Well, what would you hate to happen in that position if you were them? If someone came and harassed me when I went up for the CS, perfect. You do just that.
Yeah, I mean, another big problem that I have, especially in bot lane, is people don't like it. You can't
Say it.
communicate in solo queue. Obviously, there's no communication. So, I'll have a support that'll go for like this crazy play. I'll ping him back, and then he'll just be like, "No, you do what I tell you, cutie pie." And then he just goes in for this crazy shit, dies to a gank, and dude, we would have had that if you like. Bot lane's give and take, man. Dude, like sometimes you gotta. It's like being in a relationship. Sometimes you gotta compromise, man. Like if I don't feel comfortable going for an all in, it's like, well, maybe we shouldn't go for the. Maybe we should go for something that we both agree on. Like especially because I get this question all the time with donations. It's like, dude, if my support's playing like a bitch, what should I do? It's like, dude, do what he's doing. Like you can't 1v2 the lane. If he doesn't want to go up and throw any abilities out, you can't go up and just like 1v2 them. I mean, if you could do that, then you probably wouldn't be bronze or whatever elo the person donating is. But yeah, it's just there's that's one of the biggest offenses that happen bottom is people don't coordinate with one another what they want to do.
Well, so let me ask you this: if you're talking about compromise, so if you go in for the big play, if you're supporting, you go in for the big play, and your AD doesn't follow up, what do you say?
I mean, I only play Trundle and like I just pillar people. It's like impossible to not fall. I'm talking about people that are trying to play like that hyphy shit, like they play threat. They'll like flash flay and then miss the hook, and then it's where's the follow up, dude? We would have had him if you came with me. It's like, dude, you just missed every fucking ability. What do you want?
All right, so what would you give them as advice? You say just compromise. Is that it?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is like just wait until your AD's comfortable, wait until your support's comfortable, wait until you're both comfortable, and then you can try to take it to the next level, man. I mean, another really big offense too is people don't respect junglers in solo queue, and I always like. I don't know how you are with your bans, but I ban every jungler.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
six jungle bans. That's the preference.
100%. Jungle is the most broken role in the game. I don't give a shit what anyone says because they're fucking wrong. Like, jungle is the strongest role in the game. It doesn't matter if you have like a 2-kill lead. He will kill your ass on the game. Like, it's not you're gonna kill. He's gonna kill your ass on the game. And so many people try to. They're like, oh, I got a lead, dude. Let me push it to the limit. And then they just get their ass killed. They fall behind and then they lose the game. It's like, yeah, you just ward and play like a bitch if you think you're gonna get ganked. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I had a period of a week and like 2 weeks where I got one routed by the enemy jungler, 7 of 10 games, like 8 of 10 games. And at that end of that week, I was like, what's the way to win all of these games? I just ward and hug the other side he starts every single game.
Yeah, that pains me the most because I hate wasting my word early. But if I know if it's like some cheeser fucking dude or if he's playing like a cheese champ, I'm 100% gonna get.
And the worst thing is like all the junglers can cheese in that way. Like if you win the one round Graves, one round Elise, Rek'Sai Gragas were the worst defenders.
Oh, Rek'Sai is disgusting bottom. Like I hate that shit.
Yeah, when that guy was meta, he could one round blue side too. So you just had to like super respect the jungler there. I think the options that have maybe even gotten slightly worse for the junglers, where it's like they don't just immediately flank you and like CC you, but Yeah, I think jungle position is super important. Exactly like Cutie says, if especially in solo queue, I think it's the most influential role because it creates the most volatility in the roles. So like if you're one-on-one someone, the worst thing you want to know is some guy comes in and throws a rocket in your lane or something like something like that, you know? And that's exactly what junglers do. They're there to put wrenches in your game plan, and if they do it well enough, they can just win the game.
Yeah, and people are so damn greedy. The other thing, I could go on and on. The other thing I hate, dude, is when the jungler ganks a lane. So if I'm playing jungle, I know Dom's like why he's a flamer, dude, because this shit pisses me off. When I'm playing jungle and I'm like, okay, he's ganking top. I ping top lane. The jungler comes. The dude doesn't use his summoners. He gets to like one hit. He has red buff and like red smite. He flashes and then dies. Like always flash immediately. Like don't. It's not even like why take the damage and then flash out if you know he's gonna get in range of you. Just flash out so you can keep laning. Like people just take the chunk and then flash out afterward. It's like what sense does that make, man? Come on.
Oh yeah, it's really bad because they don't realize that when you take the chunk, the jungler could just duo the lane and then dive you if you're low enough. So because if you flash away immediately and you only take like one auto or like one spell, then being able to continue laning still puts pressure on the other team.
Yeah, there's way too many. I mean, I think the biggest mistake though, let's just finish up this topic. The biggest mistake I think people make though is just being fucking terrible. Like just straight up. That's it. What is there any closing remarks for this one?
Yeah, I have to agree with that statement, but I don't really think that's something that helps them get better, Kitty.
Yeah, but it's just the truth, man. Stop being awful and stop being in my games. All right, let me move on to the next topic. The world song Ignite by Zedd was recently released with mixed reactions. Thoughts on the music video? I like the music video a lot. I think that shit looked pretty cool. Like animation wise, I mean, I thought the song sucks, but I don't listen to EDM or whatever the fuck that genre is. That I don't know what Zedd makes, but I thought the video looked cool.
Yeah, a lot of people always ask me, Scarra, dude, what do you think about this song? Okay, is it okay? Can I request music? And I'm just like, no, I don't, I don't listen to music. Like, I appreciate music when it comes on. I listen to it, but I don't like go out searching for new music. I'm definitely not one of those like people who scour YouTube for like the 1,000 view indie bands that are just getting started to be like, I was watching them before they became big. Like that's not me. For me, I just put on some random playlist and I just chill to it, you know.
But Ignite didn't get you hyped up though.
I love the animation. The animation is fantastic. However, the song was just okay. Like it's just like an above average song. It's exactly what I would expect, you know, from like a.
Wait, that's what you'd expect. I feel like Riot puts out really good music. Like I love the DJ Sona. I think I don't listen to metal, but I thought the like Pentakill album that they put out was really good also. Like a lot of the music Riot puts out I think is good.
I think Riot's like music staff are incredible. If you see like their awards that some of them have won, oh my god. There was this one person I remember talking to and working with that he's just got like he was in like this huge ass band. He's got like all these awards won. He's just like incredible music. But when you're doing world's music and they like outsource it to like general people or like very popular bands, I expect the quality to be kind of maybe like down, maybe a little bit up. Sometimes it works out really well. Sometimes in this case, I feel like it just came out to be good. Like maybe even great, but definitely not something I'm going to be like, wow,
Jesus,
man.
Dude, that's it.
Yeah.
Like maybe great. I feel like if something was great, I'd be like, "Oh hell yeah, dude! This is great. I love it."
Yeah, like I'm not gonna remember this song in like a year from now. People aren't gonna be like, if I hear this song outside, it's not gonna first come into my mind. Oh my god, that's Ignite. I'm gonna be like, oh, I think I remember this song. Like I heard it sometime. But like if you play like Warriors to me, I'd be like, oh, I remember that song, dude. That's my jam. That's some good stuff. Or like any of the really, really popular songs out there, like I'll know probably instantly, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this was pretty. I thought it was whatever. Again, I like the music that Riot puts out most of the time. This shit, it didn't live up to the standards that I'd placed on Riot. I mean, I don't know who the fuck Zedd is, so I mean, maybe I just don't like that kind of music, but
Wait. Keely, what music do you listen to? I told people he just listens to rap, like the hood thug ghetto stuff. But like, I don't know if that's what you. Do you listen to
I
rap?
mean, right now, I just mainly put because it's too hard for me to search new music. So I have a Pandora station that I put on, and I just turn it as low as possible, so it's like white noise. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I listen to whatever. Like when I was a kid, dude, you know what I'm talking about. When I was a kid, dude, I'm sure when you were a kid, we listened to like Linkin Park, right?
Oh
Like Limp
yeah.
Bizkit, dude. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
dude, I'm badass as a kid, man. No one understands,
I
man.
remember when they came out and like people were like, "Oh my god, he put that many curse words in one song. I gotta listen to it." And I was
Yeah,
just like,
hell yeah,
looking
dude.
back, I'm like, "Wait a sec, that song sucked."
Dude, I love my boy Fred Durst. Now, why didn't they get Linkin Park to make a world song, man? That would have been lit. That's what the kids say too. See, I still got it with the kids, man. I know the kid what the kids like. But yeah, this song sucked ass. You got anything else to say about this shit?
I'm good, dude. Not the type of person who really talks too much about this.
Right, you get a thumbs down for this one. Do better next year. All right, my boy Monte speaks out about casters and player compensation on the broadcast. Thoughts?
Okay, so I've been on the desk for years, like riots, and as a pro player and as a non-pro player, I was on there as a coach. I was on there as a like currently what I'm doing. I just did like a world's rundown. I went on for NA spring split finals, in almost every situation before this year, I never got paid. And this year is the first, and
But
this
you were
actually
doing it for exposure, right?
that's kind of what they say, but unfortunately, I really don't like that term. Like, and the thing is,
I thought that's
it
what
does.
artists like, though. Doing work
Yeah.
for exposure.
Oh god, like it makes sense for them to say it because I don't think they really have competition because a lot of people when they go on it because of that they can keep prices relatively low. But before even this split, there wasn't really a salary for the people on the desk. So especially and if you're a pro
And let
player,
me make sure you're not talking about broadcasters, right? You're talking about like the guests that they have.
yeah, the
Okay.
guests that they have, for instance, don't get like they didn't get paid before this year, and I from I've never actually heard of people getting paid. In fact, a lot of people didn't get paid for doing worlds. Well, like it's 5 weeks of work, and I know
Wait,
they
they didn't
didn't
get
really.
paid for doing worlds?
I
Like,
think in back
yeah.
in season 2, and they just started paying like a little bit in season 3. But I remember that like I think Double have talked about it where it was just like yeah like I had to ask them to pay me more because like this is just too much work and exposure is not good enough. So I think Riot's slowly changing their ways on this kind of stuff, but it sucks being on the person that wants to be go on to this kind of stuff, but has to take in consideration the money side of things. For instance, everyone knows or like a lot of people know I currently do interviewing for the score on every week at the LCS, and when it came down to it, this split I wanted to do I wanted to do either the desk, but this opportunity came up in the score. I thought it'd be really cool, something I've never done before, really able to broaden my horizons. But one of the reasons also why I ended up taking it was just because like they paid me a lot more. And so like why I'd like to work for Riot for a lot of this stuff and the reason why I'm not a rotating guest analyst, like for instance Mark Z or Crumbs this year, is mainly because I decided to choose the interviewing job over being on the desk this year. And to some extent that was kind of monetary wise because even though on the desk I'm gonna guarantee be getting more exposure, probably like 60%, maybe like 100% more exposure. I don't value the exposure as much because I've kind of already built my own brand, so to speak.
Yeah, you need some fucking money. You don't give a shit about Riot letting you just on the desk then. I mean,
Yes.
so what about the caster compensation that Monty talked about?
Oh, okay. So they said that casters just don't get paid that much, and not only did they not get paid that much, they're not able to do their own stuff. And I remember that I think Monty in the video said that he was told specifically by Riot not to tell them his rate because they didn't want to get the wrong idea that like oh the contractor rate is much higher. And for a lot of these people, like obviously the salary rate is going to be worse, and because the contracted rate, you're not going to get consistent jobs over a large period of time. Like a contract rate is just a contract for 1 week or like one like situation, one event. But from what I understand, it was significantly worse than what the Riot casters were being paid. And I'm hearing rumors that it's possible that the Riot casters, some of them could just leave after this year, in part because of that specific situation.
Wait, that they're just gonna like revolt, be like, "Fuck you, Ryan," and just like leave at the end of their contract, or
I don't know. I don't know about revolt, but it's just like a lot of these people are very, very talented at what they do, and they don't need league, for instance, because when you think about it, like even what they're getting on a day by day basis, they're getting exposure, right? But they've been exposed for like years, so they're not their fan base isn't growing like at like an exponential rate because they're on air every single day of the week or 3 days of the week, 4 days of the week. Instead, they if they could probably get a really competitive offer in other places, especially when you have places like E-League starting up. And I hear the paying rate of casters on E-League is absolutely insane, like absurdly high. And so because of that, maybe some of them might be tempted to just leave because unless a lot of stuff changes in Riot, I feel like it's slowly changing because a lot of these topics are being brought to the forefront. Then you could see one of your favorite casters leave this at the end of the year.
I mean, do you feel like that's a big deal though? Because I feel like Riot, like most of the casters they've gotten recently, like some of the casters they've been bringing on have been pretty good. Like I'm really enjoying a lot of.
I don't know if it's
casters.
a big deal for Riot, but it's something that they should think about because it's like if you're losing good talent, you don't ever want to lose good talent. If you're a company, like I don't want one of my best employees in the division to leave, because it means that in some situations that's fine. But if
then
like,
what about my boy Monte? Do you think Riot's gonna get him back?
no, absolutely not. Monte, like you know what they say about burning bridges? He burned the entire area. It's like all to the ground. It's just charred earth now. If Monte and Riot work together in the future, it's gonna be in like the far future. Like when like 20 years from now when Monte's like 50 and then like they've replaced the esports coordinator and everyone on the esports staff already, then Monte's gonna be like, "Hey man, what's up?" And then like, "Oh, Monte, you want to just guest star on one of our new 27 broadcasts?" Because at this point, Riot owns half the world at the moment, and so at that point, yeah, I could see it happening. But in the near future, I would be very shocked, impossibly shocked. It won't happen.
It'll happen, dude. It's gonna be the world's feature. That's gonna be, instead of the Imagine Dragons playing live, it'll be Monte rising up and casting. That would be hype. But so you think then that Riot really needs to step up their game with compensation for broadcasters?
I think I don't really want to talk about compensation for casters because I'm not very good at that field. Like I don't really understand the inner workings. But at least for whatchamacallit, talent, like people that go on the desk, I don't think that they should. I think Riot is a very big player in the relative field. Like when you think about esports and you think about esports that are successful right now, League of Legends is one of your top three games you should be thinking about. And so when I think of it that way, I think Riot and the esports division and Riot should be setting the standard for the other games to look at. I want people to look at League of Legends and be like, wow, I wish we were as good as them. What I'm sure when you look at production, when you look at some of the casters, people say that. People are like, oh my God, like, did you see how that guy casted right there? Oh, phenomenal. Do you see the production? The production level, you have the spider web new intro. They have like the like floating like New York or like the LA backdrop onto the new spider web background. Oh, that looks sick. Like you see all these people, they still kind of suck at photoshopping people's faces of the teams together. But aside from that, like the rest of production, fantastic, you know? And I think that I want people to say that about their compensation. I want people to be like really excited to be on this, like compete to go on it. Like, look, bring me on. This is what I'll give for you. I'm good. Just let me
I feel like the thing is they compete, but like if Double Lift's like, dude, I want $5,000 if you want to have me as a guest, it'd be like, all right, let's get Biofrost. Then he'd probably just do it for free, like.
Yeah, no, definitely there's a middle ground, and so I'm obviously at the end where I would like to be better compensated, but I think that if it's just I would at least I like to see him in the upper spectrum of the field. Like when people talk about them, and not only are they very good at production and all this other stuff. I want them to be like, well, and they compensate very, very well for their time.
All right, then. Riot Games, you heard the man. Give this man money if you want him to speak for you as a guest. All right.
Last but not least, it doesn't mean that everything I've done for Riot, I've done a lot of things. I did the patch rundown. I did like a lot of solo queue stuff. A lot of stuff I won't mind getting not paid for. Like, because I just want to talk about the game. But
dude, look at you going back on it now. You're part of the problem, Scarra. You're you're one of those people that'll do it for free.
I actually was to a large extent, and because of that, I've had to actually incur my own price or else I'll be used for like almost everything. And so because of that, yeah, probably the reason why I have a rate at the moment is because if I didn't, then I would just be asked to do almost everything.
Hey, what's wrong with that, man? Doing a little freebie work.
I'm all for pro bono, but I think at some situation I have to be like, look, I need to pay my bills.
All right, fair enough then. Right, pay this man basically is what he's getting at. Let's go on to topic number, whatever we're on. The NBA is invading the LCS, including the 76ers buying Apex LCS spot and Dignitas. Golden State bought Team Liquid. Scar, what do you think about the NBA invasion?
I'm happy for the organizations that they're finally making money off of this stuff. I'd like to see the money go back into the scene and like better structures for a lot of different like teams, more fleshed out coaching staffs. And I'd like to see the impact of this stuff before I say anything else.
Yeah, this stuff is like interesting because I feel like it's just a giant fucking bubble that's gonna explode. But I mean, I'm not really sure about it.
But the thing is, like, do the owners care that the bubble is gonna explode? Because if the owners already got paid for like $10 million, $15 million for this buyout, what do you say when you're the owner?
Oh, hell no, they don't care. I just sell that shit instantly. I'd be like, oh, yeah, some fucking guy that doesn't even know about esports wants to buy. Yeah, dude, buy my team. I don't give a fuck. Like, I mean, I feel like, I guess I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, but if Riot's saying, like, yeah, we're going to start giving you guys some crazy compensation and, like, all this shit, I feel like I'd want to own like all of Team Liquid still, unless they think that Team Liquid's just fucking doomed and they can't get any good players on their team or some shit. Like, I don't know
what's the likelihood of that, Keely?
Yeah, 0% chance of that. No way that's happening. But like, if Riot was telling these teams that they're gonna be offering so much like compensation now with like icons and like how Dota does it, I wouldn't really want to sell it, but I mean, I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. I think it's interesting, though, that all these people are interested.
Oh, I have to ask. So a lot of people come to my chat and they say this. Scar, what do you think about Dignitas being bought out by the 76ers? What do you think about Dig? As a longtime Dig fan, Dig member, Dig for life. I don't know how to respond to that. Like, I feel like the Dig we were on, like, we kind of made Dig to some extent popular in North America. Me, you, and the rest of the team, right? Kiwi Kid.
Jesus, dude. Me, you, and the rest of the team. I like that. Just forget the rest of those guys.
Dude, come on. Dominate Crumbs. I'm trying to slowly build into it. Anyways, do you feel like really attached to Dignitas anymore?
Hell no, I don't give a fuck about Dig. Like, now that they got bowed out, these guys are fucking nobody. Like, I'll care about Dig when they get their asses relegated and then they get out of relegation. Like, they win their way from relegations back into the LCS. Then I'll be like, they've suffered what I've suffered through Dig, and now they are worthy to have me as a fan. But until that, like, just buying your way into the LCS, dude, I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, I consider us to be kind of the first generation of Dignitas in North America and in League. And like right now, I consider the current roster, the Apex roster, to be like the fifth generation, like the fourth or fifth generation. Like, we are many, many generations from when it was us on Dig. And I think Yeah, it's never quite felt the same. I just remember that when we used to be on Dig, and when we left Dig, they took a huge brand hit because for a lot of the Dig fans and the Dig players, not to assume that I know what you guys like, but I know at least some of you are here because you like the man on the left. I'm a cutie pie, and when he left Dignitas, and when I left at the same time, Dig support kind of fell through the floor, and a lot of the Dig brand itself was being upheld by like the players rather than the actual brand in the States.
I mean, do you feel like that? I feel like that's exactly how it is, though. Like in sports, you can attach yourself to the brand because it's attached to like states and stuff, like Milwaukee fucking Timberwolves or whatever the fuck the name of that team is. Like for league, I don't really care about the brand. Like I don't give a shit about Dignitas. I care about the players. Now that it's like X Special, whoever the fuck else, Keen, Ray. It's like who
Yeah,
are
I mean,
these people?
I totally agree with you. For a lot of teams, I only care about the players. Like, I don't really care about the team behind them. Like aside from Team Solo Mid and to some extent like C9, um, the brandings for me are like the small things. Like it's really for me. If I'm gonna be a fan of a team, I have to like the players. And so when you think about my personal favorite team in the LCS right now is COG because I have a lot of history with them. I love Tony. I like most of the people on the team. They're great. My second favorite team though is P1, and that's only because I like their players. I really like their players. Like I love Gate. Anori is officially reformed, although, and to a much better extent than Darda kind of reformed. And Dardak is a good example because I love Dardak. Sure, he's super toxic, and maybe he was like not good as a team, but when I talk to him and when I play with him, he's like a cool guy. I really like hanging out with him. And so, like for me, the players are the only people that matter for the most part.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So when people ask me, "Hey, cutie, you hyped up to have Dig?" It's like I don't give a fuck about these guys. Like, why do they even have the name Dig? They only have the name Dig because they fucking bought it out, man. They could be fucking random ass team number 500 in the LCS, dude. That stuff's just like it's pretty indifferent to me. But so let's get back on topic with the NBA invasion into the LCS. Do you see them buying like TSM or maybe a CLG? You see any of those kinds of big moves in the
Well,
future?
probably in the future if stuff is because the thing about investment is as soon as you see other people invest into it, that's when you become interested. You're like, oh, why are these other people who are smart people investing into this? Should I be interested? So I think the hardest thing is to get the initial interest. When the first person comes over, that's when all the other fish kind of follow. And so I think it's potentially going to happen and probably will happen in the future. However, I do know that TSM is worth a lot more than Dig. Like if Dig is evaluated at somewhere between like the 5 to 15 million mark, TSM is going to be evaluated at 50 million or more, like 25 million or more. And so, yeah, if you want to buy
you
out,
got 50 million out. Whoa, and then you got a 20. You cut it in half. Come on,
well,
man.
oh, I don't exactly know the evaluation that they would like to sell it at, but probably be between somewhere between 25 to 50 million or more. And maybe they wouldn't even want to sell it because I know Reggie's been in the scene a while. He wants to build something. He built something from the ground up, and well, maybe he'll stick with it the entire time.
I mean, do you think that there's a problem with? Does it make any difference that all these investors are getting into esports or anything? Do you feel like or no?
Uh, I think it's only good for everyone because it means people will make more money. So that I think it's only good that investors are coming in. So it's positive. Thumbs up.
So,
You were thumbs down for this stuff for this the topic before. I'm thumbs up for this topic.
so do you think then that with enough investors, they could invest enough to have Scarra back into the LCS?
Oh, ooh. I
Just
mean, it's certainly
say it right now. How much? How much? What's the bare minimum to have Scarra back in the LCS?
all right.
Name a
Take
price.
what you would need and then double it, and then I'll be back.
All right, I'll take like $20. Scarra will take like 40 to get back, dude.
If you take $20 to go back to the LCS, I'll see you there next week
Okay.
or next year.
All right, fair enough, my friend. Let's go on to the next one then. World's pros have invaded North America. Have they impacted your play in Dynamic Q? Hell no. I've only played against Albus Nox, the Russian sensation, dude. I played against Russian Ranger and
Wait, that's it? Really?
Yeah, I've played against. Okay, no. It was Russian Ranger. What's the other guy? No name, no good. I forget. It's the mid laner in Jungle Duo. I mean, they were all right. I mean, I remember I had the Russian Ranger guy. He played top lane, and he was just like he was basically inting, and he just kept saying, "I'm not in the mood for this." He just kept camp my lane. I'm not in the mood for this, and then he'd run into the tower and die, and it was just like. World's invasion, yes, dude. I'm ready for worlds.
I think you played at the worst time for this.
Oh no,
Because
I
it's
played
total...
no. I played with EDG Mouse, and
Oh,
he just absolutely. So it was basically just every other solo queue game where my top lane was 0-10, and then I was 10-0, and it's who could carry harder. And surprised the Aurelia could just insta kill everyone on the split push, and then I was an AD, so we lost. Feels good, man.
I mean, I played with a couple of people, mainly the AHQ people. They spam so much. I think your time block is really bad for pros because they play kind of toward the evening, like the afternoon, evening, especially if they don't have scrims. And so you probably have the worst time
I
block
mean,
to
I
hit.
play 10 hours a day, dude. Like, honestly,
Yeah,
I just feel like they're avoiding me, but I don't have facts to prove it.
your 10 hours ends at 3 p.m. PST, whereas mine ends at 6, and I see a lot of pro. I literally play against AHQ like every day, multiple times a day. Of the 3 losses I had yesterday, lost twice to AHQ's bot lane. You know, but to be back on topic, I love when these guys are in what you call it rank because everyone tries so much harder. When people are playing against people like Death, when people like playing against people like Pond, they're just like, I gotta show this guy up. This guy may be the best in the world. I could be the best in the world. And they play so hard. Like I'm so happy that people are playing so much. It feels weird to say, but people try so much more if they're playing against people that they are fans of or people they love. People they want to prove themselves to. And so because of that, the quality of my games has actually increased a lot with these. Sure, I could get slammed more because these pro players are just better than my teammates most of the times and me. But it makes the games a lot more enjoyable.
I mean, did you see that? So, what do you think about the pro player? How much better do you think they are than your average player? Because did you see there was a thread with Gosu, like Gosu smashes? Do you know who I'm
Oh
talking
my
about?
god. The Talia literally set that play up perfectly.
I didn't watch it, but I just saw the title.
Gosu W's in and autos 5 times, and people are like, "Oh my god, Gosu made the play!" And I'm just like, "Who's the Talia? Like, is that a Smurf? Like, who is that?" I was really interested in the support rather than Gosu. No, I watch Smeb from time to time. Like, I'll watch him like in the tracking the pros Twitch thing, like, and every time you look at his score, he's legendary and winning the game. It's actually disgusting. So I think they are really good. They're way better. Like when you think about NA talent, I watched Insanity lane against some of these guys, which is one of the up and coming NA mid laners, and he just getting smashed left and right. It's actually so funny. He had one game where he beat Pawn mid lane, but in all the other games, like Westdoor, like made them go 0-5 in lane. He played against.
Yeah,
he told me he played against QV. He went like 0-12.
Yeah, I did it. I made him go on 5 in lane too.
Wait, Insanity?
Yeah, I played Xerath and I smashed him. I got a YouTube video on it.
But I'm just saying though, I think they're so much better, and because they're better, it forces people to have to elevate their play to try the match.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty hyped up for when I actually play against. Again, like no offense to any of my Russian viewers or any Albus Nox fans out there. I've only played against them, and I mean, they're pretty good. Like honestly, they're probably a lot better than people give them credit for. But it's not like, oh my god, dude, it's Russian Ranger and that other guy. It's like I got these guys on my team again. So I mean, hopefully Faker stops hiding. This is an official call. Faker, stop hiding. I know you know when I stream. Stop trying to dodge me. Let me smash you with Xerath already.
All right, someone please record that when it does happen. I want to see Kitty go 10.
That's gonna be a YouTube video. I'm just hoping. I know that they're avoiding me because they don't want to end up on my YouTube, dude. I'm just gonna end it on that though. I know it for a fact. But let's go on to the last and final thing. Scarra, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because we're ending it on a bang with the Discord Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. If you got any questions, there's a link located down below. You go down there, click that link. Any question that you asked, as long as it's not terrible, will be answered by the one and only William Lee and Michael Santana.
Oh, and for people curious, a lot of people might come in and be like, Scarra, Cutie, what about Worlds? Like, Worlds is happening in tomorrow or like next couple of days. What do you have to say about Worlds? I think we've kind of said all we've wanted to say about Worlds. Like, we're not going to go really deep into analysis because, like you know, Cutie has a massive brain, but just not that much time. And so because of that, we've kind of already put our predictions out there. We think this is what's going to happen. We'll have a lot more Worlds content coming at you next week, but we already talked about Worlds 2 weeks ago, and everyone is just waiting for Worlds to start. If you look at
once
League of Legends
starts, we're gonna get into that shit. But if you want to hear some analysis of how Albus Nox wins their group, this is not the place to be. If you want to hear how Albus Nox wins their group,
you're really going in on that team, man.
I love it. Okay, dude, Russian Ranger, dude. Let me just say that game where he was saying he wasn't in the mood, I ended up hard carrying it, so it didn't matter. He was feeding his ass off. You know what he said? He said, "You're pretty good."
Oh!
He told me a world contender.
You're pretty good.
He told me I was pretty good, dude. Now, I don't think he said you're pretty good. He was like, good job or some shit. Or because I like 1v5'd and won the game because he was just feeding his ass off. No, but that was my boy, dude. I fucking love that guy. All right, let me get into it though. So Maloney asks, "What do you do when you're better than all your team in shot calling and macro, but they don't follow you?" This is a big concept for a lot of players when they first get into team things. It doesn't matter how good of a shot caller you are if people don't listen to you. So the best thing you can do when you're on a team, even if it's a shit call, you should listen to it. Like, dude, if you think you're the world's greatest shot caller, it doesn't matter, because if everyone else, the 4 teammates that you have, are doing another thing, you should go do that other thing. What do you think, though, Scarra?
The kitty muted his mic?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, you're back.
Hey. Now, like I was saying, this is a concept that Dig had trouble with a lot back in the day, where if one person is making a good call, it doesn't matter how good the call is if everyone else doesn't listen to it. So it's better to listen to a shitty call and have 5 people doing it than listen to a good call and have like 3 people doing it. But
I will also say this, especially in rank, there's no voice chat. So it's like, if you're complaining that you're not getting like LP, you're not going up the ladder because people won't listen to your calls, like, having a smart brain, like good mind, is only half the battle. Like, you also have to have good mechanics. You have to be able to set up the play. Like, who cares if you know what to do if you don't know how to get to that point? Like, I know we should be fighting drag right now, but if you're not setting up the dragon for your team, who cares about any of that? So if you're really that smart, if you think you got all the answers in your brain, in your head right here, then
join the
you
LCS.
should know. Become an analyst for an LCS team, because some of the teams I watch actually have no idea what they're doing. And 2, if you're gonna make a macro decision, it's really obvious for your teammates to follow up if you set it up well. So if I'm gonna 4-man dive bot lane, I chunked my mid laner, I'm rotating through the jungle, I fully warded the jungle so we know anyone who's coming bot lane, and I'm going at a time when my jungler is also going bot lane. So at that point, they can't do anything but follow me because I set up everything to make the play perfect, and they just have to look they just have to walk forward. I don't put any faith on them to do anything but walk forward and help me execute. And if you could do that, then that's it. Like, I set up the play well in that position. But if you just know what you're supposed to, like, we should 4-man dive here, but you can't do any of the things before that, and then you complain about your teammates sucking, well, let's just say there are 5 people in the game.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, dude, if you really think you're like a master tactician, the best thing you could do, start a petition to Riot Games to have voice chat. That's the best thing that you could do if you want to take it to the next level. But okay, let's go on to let's move on to the next question. So Genghis Swan, my man, he asks, "What are your thoughts on Riot Games expanding to other projects and putting the S in Riot Games, such as Mechs versus Minions?" I'm pretty hyped up. I think League of Legends is like one of those things that it was like not World of Warcraft. I loved like Warcraft's like the entire, I guess, the lore of it. I think that kind of stuff's so interesting, but there are no other games that really have that kind of world, I guess. So I'm pretty happy if Riot Games starts expanding to like really open
Hello?
up the game.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, bud.
Okay, so I agree with you, and I think that Riot should do more games in their universe. So I think the best example of a brand that does excellent with their branding, excellent, like fantastic. Look at Blizzard. When you buy a Blizzard game, you don't just buy the game. You also buy, oh, I activated this one thing, this other game in the Blizzard universe. Oh, I activated this other thing, this other game in the Blizzard universe. Like, Blizzard does such a good job with their brand. I think Riot can also do that. Like, Riot has a huge player base, and they can essentially print money if they want to do any kind of game. Like, I hope Mechs and whatever machines or whatever their board game is successful, but I know it'll be successful because it's got the Riot backing and they didn't price it very high. On top of that, if they ever want to come out with any future game and the future game is related to the League of Legends universe, that's just printing money, dude. It's so not only printing money, it's keeping fans loyal. A lot of people right now who were fans of Blizzard in the past don't like all the games they produce, but they'll be like edged into it because that's got my favorite character from the lore. Like, I love Garage Hellscream. Or like, oh, Heroes of the Storm has this other character I love from StarCraft. I love Kerrigan. I guess I'll try it out, you know? I think Blizzard's doing a great job with their brand, and Riot should take from Blizzard's success, and I really, really hope in the near future they come out with another game, not just like a board game, but an actual game where people can also get excited.
Agreed. Leave me alone. Where do you see yourselves in 10 years? Do you see yourself still playing maybe different games or quitting? Where do you see yourself in 10? This is people ask me this so much. Cutie, if you weren't streaming, what would you be doing? Scarra, what would you be doing?
Okay. Okay, first of all, in other professions, you might have. I've talked about this for sure. I've talked about this. Other professions, you may have long-term plans. If you want to be a doctor, you know, oh, I'm going to go med school for this many years. I'm going to work in this hospital for intern for this many years. Then I'm going to get my license. And I'm going to start my own division and become a doctor. You know, or my own branch and be a doctor. That's like a 10-year plan. In League, I don't even know what a 5-year plan looks like, except for if you own an organization. For like the players, they have like 6-month plans. I'm gonna be on this team for 6 months and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna be on this team till Worlds. We're gonna see what happens. And so when you ask me what my 10-year plan in esports is gonna be, the industry is so volatile. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing like a year from now. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing next year. 2017, am I gonna be interviewing? Yeah, maybe, probably. I will probably be interviewing somewhere. Probably at the score again. And so on top of that, what else could I be doing? Am I going to start a new show? Am I going to have a podcast? Am I going to have this or that? Like, I don't know. Something could just happen where I'd be like, you know what? That's a good opportunity. Let's just jump on it.
Yeah, Riot Games could just not even exist like 4 years from now.
In 10 years, Riot could either take over like the whole world. They're not going to fucking do it. But in 10 years from now, Riot could have like 5 new games. And then we'll be talking about Blizzard in the same way that we're talking about Riot. You don't know what's really going to happen in 10 years. I want to say, you know, I'm going to be on a private island with just me, a bunch of supermodels. My day-to-day is like, you know, I don't know, walking out on a field of pure golden grass.
That sounds like
I custom made, and then like using my private jet to go have a lunch with Bill Gates. Something like that, you know. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I hope I'm just happy and successful.
I want some of that in 10 years. I'll have what Scarra's having. My man, he paid tribute. What do you think about all the hate for Diamond/Low Masters in games recently?
Ooh, Cutie, you are the offender of this. So you
What
tell
I
me.
don't even know
You
how I'm
tell
an
him.
offender of this, dude.
Okay.
I've had so many games with like that. Okay, Diamond and Master players are really good when you like think about the global game, because they're like a Diamond Master player is probably like top 1%. That's really good, dude. It's You be proud of that. You made it, dude. You're the top 1%. But it's like, you ever heard how like you compare the like top 1% in wealth to like the top like 0.1% in wealth? That's basically how it is in skill of League of Legends. You got like fucking Joe Schmo who's a fucking millionaire, and then you have Bill Gates. It's like they're not even fucking comparable. So when you have a League of Legends game and you got like the D3 player, and then you got a challenger player, it's like, I wonder who's going to win this lane. This one's going to be a real competitive game. What do you think, though, Scar?
I mean, I agree with you. Whenever I talk about skill level of this game, like a lot of people, I'm just like, okay, so notice the skill level between like silver to diamond, or like bronze to diamond. That's a pretty significant skill gap. I think the skill gap from the top of challenger to the lowest point in masters is the same. I think it's just as big, if not more. Like, I think there's that big of a skill gap when you're talking about like everything, full package player between the very top. If we're comparing like Bjergsen and Doublelift to like 0 LP masters players, like however hard you think a diamond player could smash a bronze player, I guarantee you it could be just as hard as Bjergsen can smash a 0 LP master player.
Yeah, like if you want to see some humiliation, man, watch me early in the morning when I get fucking 20-minute queued into like a Diamond 5 game. Those games are just like, why put me in 20-minute queue for a fucking 10-minute open mid? Like, what's the point of this shit? It's just such a one-sided stomp. I mean, again, it's hard to really understand it, because you look at it and you're like, wow, this guy's diamond, cutie. He's probably just as good as you, but like, what can I say? No, that's not true. That's not how it works at all, man. But yeah, I'm not a flamer. I never will be.
not a flamer. Yep.
I'm not a flamer, and I never will be.
Okay.
But matchmaking sometimes can be a little rough. Let's just go with that. My man Kevin Taku asks, will we ever get to see Voyboy on Beyond the Rift?
Well, I would just say I control most of the guests, and then Cutie is allowed to veto my choice, and we just haven't had the right opening or time. We just don't have enough time for Voyboy, honestly. So
yeah, that guy fucking talks, and I just
maybe in the future when you see us on television, we'll get Voy, but we got 54 episodes a year if we do one every week, and there's a lot of people out there, a lot of guests we could possibly have. You know, like we said before, Bill Gates, Ellen DeGeneres, Obama, and then when you think about the potential guests and you think about Voy, you really.
Hey, like, why waste our time? We could have fucking Barack Obama, or we could have Voyboy. Come on, take your pick. Yeah. Let's be real here. All right, though. Let's go on to. So Talia asks, "Is there any girls that could be a League of Legends pro?"
Hello? Did you just like cut off again?
Hey, how's it going, dude? Hey.
Yeah, we're good. Keep going.
All right, Talia asks, is there any girls that could be a League of Legends pro? And I'm going to expand on this and say,
oh, God.
He really wants to know, why aren't there any League of Legends girls? Any pro League of Legends female? I guess we had Ramilia, and then I think that was it. So, Scarra, why?
Oh, God. Why are you giving me this topic?
Because he added you at it. He said, at Scarra.
Okay, oh, wait. You take this first, and I will follow your statement up.
Wait, why do I get this? It's at Scott, not at I'm a cutie pie.
Okay, but this is a show, and you're my co-host. So right now, I'm struggling with answers. I just have to give a hard-hitting answer, the truthful answer about Void Boy. So while I'm still recovering, you gotta take one over, man. You gotta take one for the team.
All right. I mean, League of Legends requires a lot of fucking effort, and I guess there's just no one that's really wanted to put in the effort. You pretty much have to play this game fucking like 10 hours a day to be pro. That's my answer. Scarra, what's your answer?
Oh wow, that's weird. That's my answer too. You've done a great job, dude.
Scarra, you didn't even try with that. Come on, give this man. He added Scarra.
God. Okay, I don't really like to talk about this because I haven't done enough research about exactly how gender plays a role into high-rated players. I suspect that it has nothing to do. It's not like a physical sport where you have to separate the people who the long-distance female.
Wait, what do you mean it's not a physical? You think this isn't a real sport?
I know. I'm just saying it's not a physical sport. Like you use your brain and like your hands. Your hands are the physical portion of it, but it's not a sport where you're required to like you're getting pushed to the physical demands of your like being. You know, after a game, you're not like on the floor sweating. It's not covering your body. You're not like, oh my god, I'm exhausted. You could be mentally exhausted, but it's not a physically straining game. Now shut up. You know what I mean, man.
I understand where you're going with this. So finish it up, Scar.
Okay, so like you said, you're gonna need to commit a lot of time to play this game. A lot of times, I feel like, oh god,
just say it, dude. Let it out.
I feel like in some regards, it's not looked well upon for people to play a lot of video games. It's like natural for men to play a ton of video games, but even now, people you'll see it in the news, you'll hear people talk about, I can't believe that one girl plays as many video games as him. You know, it's not considered like I don't want to say gender friendly. I hate that. That's not even a word. But it's still like, so first of all, playing games all the time is still not considered a good thing. I don't even consider it a good thing. I play games all the time, whatever. But I think it's especially sure because how girls are raised, they're just raised to be more interested in different things. You know, even when you look at the news or when you look at like TV and people, when they're growing up, they're looking at, oh, this is how you should be. Like when you're watching shows, you have images like Barbie to look at, you know, and then when you look at like, and they also say like pink is a feminine color, you know, and when people, I feel like everyone's kind of a product of their nature, and culturally, it's less acceptable for girls to play video games than it is for guys. And because of that, they're not able to put in as much time, and they're not even able to, even their entry level isn't as easy as it is for guys to get into games. On top of the fact that it's a really dark place to be a female online. Like you get harassed all the time. Like, man, I get harassed too. People are like, "Oh, Scar, you're fat. You're fat as fuck," and I'm just like, you know what? You're right, man. But if that's the worst thing they call me, at least they can't like constantly insult me every single day about my gender. And I think that's what happens to girls. And so I think that there's a lot of negatives to playing and being immersed in the scene as a female, and the entry level is very high. Whereas for guys, it's not the same.
I just wanted to hear you try to walk your way out of this fucking minefield, dude, without triggering anyone.
I know.
I like that answer. That was a good one.
I definitely did it, but I did it poorly. It's okay. Like I honestly, I just think I'm not. I wish I'd spend more time learning about this. And I remember I was gonna talk to someone about this before, but this is definitely very low on my to-do list.
I respect that. Scott, Drinking Gravy asks us, would you rather win the lottery and never stream again, or go back to Dig and win worlds for half the money? This is a tough one, dude. I'm going to go with winning the lottery. I feel like, so...
how much is this lottery? Are we talking
I'm just going to assume that he's talking about...
$80 million lottery, or are you...
I'm assuming it's like 500 million lottery. So do I choose winning the lottery or winning worlds?
500 million? What lotteries are you used to, man?
All right, what's the standard lottery?
I think a standard lottery is like $20 to $80 million.
Okay.
That's like the really big lottery.
All right. So basically, the question is: would I rather have $20 million or play at Worlds? This is a tough one. I don't know, man.
No, win worlds. Guaranteed to win worlds. You're given $500,000, which is split between 5 people, and whatever cut the organization takes.
And then taxes.
Yes, but you get taxed on lottery too, so you're not dodging this.
Yeah. Hmm. I'm gonna have to go with Win Worlds, dude. What
Oh,
about you, Scarra?
I'm confident that if I win worlds, I'd like to win worlds. You know, I'm down with you, dude. Let's make it happen, man. I'll see you on Dig next year.
Okay, I'm pretty sure if I won the lottery, I could just fucking rig Worlds to like have me in it and just have me win it. So I'm gonna actually just retract my previous statement and say that I'd rather win the lottery. But let's just say we both said winning Worlds. That one sounds
Yeah,
good to me.
yeah, that sounds good. Because if you won the lottery, you just buy a team and then win worlds with the 20 million, right?
Yeah, basically, dude. I'll just win the lottery and then I'll buy every team in Worlds and then just have it set up that I win no matter what. So that would be perfect for me. Okay, next question. Let's see. What do we? Ooh, these are some. We got some popping questions right here. So Jimmy the Jackhammer, he wants to know with
that's a,
yeah, it's
that's
a
a good
great
name.
name. With all the Western sports teams buying into league, do you think esports and league are on their way of gaining equal significance as in Asia? I'm gonna assume you mean like
I think that people overrate how significant it is in Asia, like a lot. Always, they're always like, esports is cool. In Korea, they show StarCraft on TV. I mean, sure they do, but it's not like a thing that their parents as a parent, you don't want your child to grow up to be a video game player. Like if you're the kind of kid who watches I'm a Cutie Pie and you point to the screen, you're like, Mom, I want to be this man when I grow
parents
up.
gonna
Your
beat
mom,
the shit out of
yeah, your
you?
mom's gonna show you the backhand faster than anything you've ever seen. Like I'm telling you, like it's still not socially acceptable, even if it was in Korea and a Korean kid looked at Cutie and pointed at him. But it's just bigger in the region. I think that is it going to get to the same size it is in other regions? Maybe, but uh, maybe as Korea did before, but not in not in China. I don't think people understand how big China is. Like we were talking about numbers wise, like LPL has 10 about like 5 to 10 times LCS viewership. Their secondary league has the same viewership as or like more as our LCS. Like their secondary league. And so it's never I don't think it's gonna be as big as China. They just got too many people there. They got 1 billion people
Come on,
there
man.
and
You don't believe? What's wrong with you, Scarra?
in the future it could be big in the West. But as big as it is in China right now, whew, that's a stretch.
Man, you're a non-believer. Boo asks, what pros at Worlds are you a fanboy of, Scarra?
Whew. Oh, people expect the faker answer. People expect the SMEB answer. I have to say ambition.
Ambition. What about
So,
ambition?
so when I was a pro player, I used to have a lot of trouble in specific matchups, and I would watch VODs of ambition and after play matchups to learn how to play the matchup, and they're like part of the reasons why I became good at specific matchups. Uh, like especially I think, especially when I was learning Oriana, I would look toward and it was either Ori or Caston. I don't remember exactly which one, but I would look toward those two players a lot. And then the fact that Ambition finally made it to Worlds after all these years of being a mid laner and still transitioned to jungle and still has that kind of drive and motivation to play. I think that that's really good. Like I have a lot of respect for people like that. So Ambition is probably my favorite pro player coming into this event.
All right, fair enough. I'd say my favorite.
Who?
Hmm.
Which of the 80 carries do you look up to, man?
Who do I look up to? The thing is that I never used to look up to anyone. I'd always think that I was better than everyone, and I still do. So I never had someone that I was like, man, I really want to learn I want to really just get under their skin and learn how they do things and just become them. So I respect what you said about ambition, but I just never had that with anyone. I guess the only person really is like maybe Double Lift, because he's been in the scene for so long. He reminds me of a younger me, like maybe like when I wasn't that good, but like other than that, like Sneaky, not really. Like he was my understudy, and then I don't know. There's the Korean players. I mean, they're good, but they're not like I'm a cutie pie good. So
Ah, okay. So the standard is just you, and no one's kind of reached it yet.
yeah, pretty much.
What about for other roles? Someone who you're just like, wow, this guy plays top lane like a monster. Are you excited for Smeb?
Top lane, I don't give a shit about any of the other roles, dude. The only role, dude, even when, like, I want to play against Faker, I would love to play against it and just see it, because I'm a firm believer that, like, individual skill between players isn't that, like, far of a gap. I know there's a lot of people that, like, think there's a lot of people that don't agree with it and think, like, individually this player could be, like, not similar to anyone because he's so fucking good. But like I think individually most players, once they get to like challenger and above, are pretty fucking even. It's just a matter of how you work on a team. So I would love to play 1v1 against someone and be like, wow, this guy is just so much better than me, and I would never ever have a chance of beating him. Not in a million years, not in a million years of practicing would I ever have a 1% chance of beating him. But, I'm washed up garbage now, so I can't do that. Feels bad, man. Hey, maybe I could do that in solo queue, though. But that will end our Discord Q&A. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We did our Beyond the Rift on Wednesday, because Thursday we're going to be flying out. Scarra, where are we flying out to?
We're flying out to TwitchCon because, yeah, we booked a nice restaurant to eat at like 4 months in advance, and that's the only reason I'm going. Not to see you, because Leisha promised me that we'd eat somewhere nice.
Yeah,
so
pretty much, man. So we're gonna be doing it live at Twitch. No, we won't. We're gonna be doing it next week on Thursday, but for now we had to do it on Wednesday. We're sorry, folks, that we had to push it a day earlier, but next week it'll be back to our regular schedule. Scott,
cross fingers for that.
Yeah, cross fingers for that, unless some shit happens. But
World's Month is going to be a little bit crazy for everyone involved. So if we have to do rescheduling, just I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, you can stay up to date. We got a Twitter, we got an Instagram. You can find it above Scarra's head, at Rift Beyond, if you want to follow that and see whenever we change up the schedule. But Scar, any closing remarks?
No, I'm good. You can find me on Twitter at dscarra. I'm eventually going to change it to Scarra. I'm going to be streaming right after this at twitch.tv/Scarra. Aside from that, I can't wait to see some of you at TwitchCon. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be there for Cutie Pie, but some of you, when you see me next time, are going to be like, you know what? I guess I'll pay you that guy. I'll get his signature too,
Dude,
whatever.
On,
might as well get him. So if that does happen, like, thank you guys in advance for that. And I will hope to see a lot of you at Worlds. I'll be doing interviews from week 2 of group stage and beyond, all the way to the end.
And I'm a cutie pie. I hope to see you at TwitchCon also, my friends. If you're there, don't be a stranger. I'm there, and I'm very sociable, so I would love to talk to you guys. But anyways, that's going to be it for Beyond the Rift. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I love you all, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday evening, night, whatever fucking time zone you're in. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday.
Goodbye, guys. Have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Nice. Didn't think about that factor.
You gotta always consider
This.
Uh-oh.
This way.
the random factor right